So the Bible shows that the special thing about this one who is called Christ, he's born of a virgin. And that was a verse that was from the book of Isaiah, about 600 years before this. And then there's also the prediction in Matthew 2 verse 6 that out of Bethlehem in the land of Judea there shall come one who's going to be a governor, a ruler, shall rule my people Israel. And that's quoted from the book of Micah. That's also in the Old Testament in the prophets. Micah was a prophet. So that was several hundred years also before this. And then also the reference I just read in Matthew chapter 2 verse 18 that there would be a great weeping and mourning. Rachel is really here a picture. She was one of the wives, the two wives of Jacob. And it said that Rachel weeping for her children, and it's the case of a prediction that there would be something horrible to happen in Judea. And so these are just three references. I was trying to look for the predictions of Christ's first coming, and these are three of them. And I'm just going to mention one other passage. I'm not going to look at Luke, but I'm going to look at the Gospel of John. In chapter 1 is a sort of a little summary of the purpose of why Christ was to come. And I'm just going to turn to that right now. I'm just going to read the first 14 verses. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him, not even one came into being that has come into being. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overtake it. There was a man sent from God, his name was John. This one came as a witness, to bear witness concerning the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of the light. This one was the true light. He enlightens every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, he gave to them authority to become the children of God, to those who believe on his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but were born of God. And the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us, or dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." I'm just going to stop there. This is just a reference to Christ, in that Christians who believe the Bible understand that in a mysterious way that God has revealed himself as, here in this case, the Son of God, called elsewhere, and that he is referred to as light. So we have lights at Christmas, or so to say, the celebration of Christ's birth. That is at least what some have thought of as being a celebration. And I know that you have in India, you have Diwali, you have your Festival of Lights, and I'm sure that other cultures also have, they use light as that. We're just referring here where the Bible talks about as Jesus as being the light. And it says in another passage that I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life, in John 8 verse 12. I just thought that would be a little brief discussion about the celebration of Christ's birth, and as we go to the source there. And there are a lot of things that relate to this. I could go on for hours, but I just thought just to give a little brief reading of what the Bible says about Christ coming to earth. And yes, we say that it was, the Bible says it is a virgin birth, and that is God's purpose. As mysterious it is, I'll read one of the passage that sort of gives a little comment on this in 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. It's one of the epistles in the New Testament. turn to them and see how this, Jay Green, I remember that was in the King James Bible, but I have to see how Jay Green, he probably is very close to this. It says, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest or made known in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen by angels, preached among nations, believed on in the world, and received into glory. And it's not just that Jesus was born, but also his purpose. It says that he has come to seek and to save that which was lost or perished, and that he lays his life down as a ransom for many. And that was the purpose of his coming, his first coming, and that the Bible also speaks about his second coming, and that's another discussion. But that just to have celebration of Christ's birth is really not the whole story. It's really also that his purpose was to come and to be an example to many, but also he says to lay down his life for his brethren and to lay his life down for the sheep. And I guess with that I would sort of finish. And was there anything else that you wanted me to touch upon?
You're the boss.
Oh, I'm not the mouse. No, I said I'm the mouse.
Merry Christmas.
So, okay. Yes, and thank you for
Thank
me to come and speak. And
Thank you.
And I wish everyone peace and joy this time. So, thank you.
Incidentally, he is also a very good cook. You don't want to say? Another thing, want to sing a song?
Yeah. Bhajan Karna.
Veena Devi, good friend of ours, and she is a very good singer, and she invites us to the temple all the time, so I'm blessed to have a friend like that.
Thank you for the compliments. मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ऐसे हो हमारे करम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ए मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ये अंधेरा घना छा रहा तेरा इंसान है घबरा रहा हो रहा बेखबर कुछ न आता नजर सूखा सूरज छिपा जा रहा है तेरी रोशनी में जो दम तो मावस को कर दे पूनम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ए मालिक तेरे बंदे हम जब जुल्मों का हो सामना तब तू ही हमें थामना वो बुराई करे हम भलाई करे नहीं बदले की हो कामना बढ़ उठे प्यार का हर कदम और मिले मैर का ये भरम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ए मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ऐसे हो हमारे करम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम बड़ा कमजोर है आदमी अभी लाखों है इसमें कमी पर तू जो खड़ा है दयालु बड़ा तेरी कृपा से धरती पली दिया तूने जो हमको जन्म तू ही झेलेगा हम सबके गम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ए मालिक तेरे बंदे हम.
Wow. It's a very, very popular song, very popular song. Going back to 30, 40 years at least. Very, very popular song. Thank you, Vila. No, I was just looking. Srimati Vishnu, would you like to... Vishnu. So would you like to say something?
Okay, yes.
And next, I'm going to request...
Okay, everybody. This is my first time here. I didn't prepare nothing. I don't know what was it about. But my understanding, the theme is about Christmas. Right?
Yes.
And people tell you in different religion how they celebrate their Christmas. Well, I'm really from Guyana. And in Christmas celebration is big over there. Here you don't celebrate Christmas. You just invite your families, you go in a house and you cook, you eat, and whatever, exchange gifts. But in Guyana, it's big. You don't have to put on your music, you dance on your neighbor's music. Because they play so loud. They play it so loud that they cook and they have the drinking and the dancing under the house. And you dancing on their music in your house. You cooking, and you invite your friends, all kinds of food, different food. All kinds of different food. And you have a nice, and you invite your friends, your family, and you have a nice time. And that is our way of celebrating Christmas. So, I don't have much more to say. I wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, with good health, wealth, and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you. It reminds me, actually, though even I grew up in Calcutta in India, though there are very few Christians, but it is a big thing. Also, it's a national holiday. But also, I don't know where it came from, but everybody buys these fruitcakes.
Yes.
Hardly Hindus would go. Not only that, Hinduism is such a pluralistic religion. It's a very important day, especially one of the largest Hindu orders, the Ramakrishna Mission. It is a day of prayer in Ramakrishna Mission. If you go to many of the ashrams, you would see, not just on this day, entire month of December, you would have a picture of Christ, sometimes Mother Mary. Actually, I was just there in one of our schools we support, and here I was there right before Christmas or after Christmas, I don't remember. And then here we see picture of the deity Mother Goddess Kali, and next to that is Ramakrishna and Mother and Vivekananda, and another little shrine for Jesus Christ. So that's very, very much very Hindu tradition. And again, it varies from place to place. But also, many of you probably know that many Hindus find parallel with birth of Lord Krishna. He was, and name is also very similar. But also, he was to be killed when he was born. His wicked maternal uncle had imprisoned the mother to be into a dungeon, and of course, as it happens, God arrives and opens the door, and then he had to cross the river Yamuna, where he couldn't, but a jackal showed how to go, and here comes a big cobra, Nag, which covers, this pouring rain, gives shelters the mother and child, and takes the baby through the Yamuna river. So there is parallel, and because at that time the king was killing all the babies who were supposed to be coming and killing the wicked uncle, who eventually was killed. So
she wants to do something.
yeah, would you please come? You have to, Leela Vishen, right?
Yes.
No.
I'm
You are,
Fawzia. I'm Fawzia.
oh, Fawzia. So I saw three names. So okay, Fawzia, Somerset.
I'm Fawzia. I'm from Elmhurst. I've been to a few events where I met Dr. Sashi, and I enjoyed it very much. So I choose to come here tonight, even though it's very cold and I live very far away from here. But my aunt lives in the area, so I told her about it. So I'm glad we were able to make it here together and meet these wonderful people. Anyway, I'll just add to what my aunt said about Christmas in Guyana, because I'm from Guyana also. It's a time of family and giving and sharing and having fun. But long before Christmas, people would start collecting their fruits and grinding it and adding liquor to it so that it could preserve till Christmas and it lasts a very long time. In addition to that, they would put out new curtains. That's the time everybody changed their curtains. They put on new curtains, new tablecloth, fix up the house, give it a painting, make everything like brand new for the new year. And the kids would at least, they would go to Santa. There would be Santa in the big stores, and that would be like their first trip to the city where they'll see Santa, because they would normally, go there. Only at Christmas time, their parents will take them like for a special treat. And on Christmas Day, you'll cook some nice duck curry, dal puri, rice, the Guyanese food. Yes, that's every holiday in Guyana. It has to be duck. Duck is like a big thing in Guyana. Duck curry, dal, rice, and dal puri. Yeah,
that's not
that is the main dish. Well, Christmas morning is a special breakfast. It's called pepper pot, which it's like with oxtail. They boil it with a special calf's rib that the Amerindians make, and you eat it with like plaited bread, like a special Guyanese bread that you have for breakfast on Christmas morning. And then the lunch, of course, is going to be the meat, and then in the evening there's a lot of cake too. You bake a lot of fruit cake, a lot of sponge cake, and you would slice it and wrap it in gift paper and give it to the neighbors. Because in Guyana, everybody they live like one family. Like you share everything, you don't have any distinction between Hindu, Muslim, Christian. You're all like one big family. And on the day after Christmas, they would have like a masquerade band coming around and dress up like long lady in different costumes, something like in New Orleans, I guess, right? Where it's like a masquerade. And they would come around the streets and make music, and everybody would be looking out their windows. And you could give a donation or something, because they went all out to get their costumes and all that stuff. And I guess after that, everything gets quiet and everybody's back to work. But in New York, it's all different. It's nice in the sense if you go to the store, it's a lot of shopping. Some people rather travel, and some people just stay at home. But I think here it's a good time to visit the sick, the people in the hospital, the poor, the needy. Like it's a time of giving here, because it's like a lot of people here are very lonely. They're very single, and they need some cheer somehow, So I think that's the best way. I mean, especially where you live, something you might not even know your neighbors. It's a good time to knock on the door and offer something, And for the kids, they all grow up, you don't even find them, because the kids, they move on their own, and they go into a different state. You may not, but you try to make it the best you can by being around family as much as you can. I would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a healthy, wealthy New Year. Thank you.
We should, generally at the end of it, there are a couple of things has to happen. At the end of it, we all introduce each other. So only a few people have not spoken. So I'm going to ask one at a time if you like to say something and then introduce yourself. And also something else, as I keep saying, this is also one of the schools we support, other foundation. These handkerchiefs are made by our students, so if you like to take one or more, if you want to donate something, please do so. We support many schools, and this is a school I was mentioning in India, in West Bengal. The guards whom we educate, this is one of the things they do. They learn how to wave. And then they did this thing for us. They printed this name of the organization. So do take one or more if you like to donate something, do something. Please do so. So I'll go, those people who have not spoken, and then after that, please stay put. People would serve food to you. And so let me start with Binapani Lakshmi. You want to say something? At least introduce yourself. You could, okay. Others can sit. Okay, whatever.
Namaskar. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. আমার নাম বিনাপানি দে।
She lives nearby, and she is a very big friend of ours.
Yeah.
She sings very well, but she is not singing now. One day she's going to sing some kirtan. If you like Bengali kirtan, she is a very, and this kirtan goes like for hours, but that means one song can continue like a rap music.
Yeah, one day we're gonna arrange that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bolo, tumi na, Sushil. Introduce. You can stay there also. It's okay. No, stand up. No, okay, come. Please come. No, please come. Asu. Asu.
My name is Larayna.
Lightning show.
I wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Anyway, all that, let me come because I'm so bad. Even if I talk, maybe everybody will be looking back. Thank you actually to tell me to introduce myself. My name is Priyators De. I am involved in a few community organizations. I come here involved with ISPaD activity as well. So of course, I think you know about ISPaD's activity, which helped me to actually come to know you people. So definitely ISPaD is working to introduce people who especially somehow detached from the root, or somehow they had some partition impact badly. So I can say I am one of them, who is really somehow detached from the root a little. And also I completely has to come out from my place where I was born, raised, and sing because of all these unexpected things around the world. So anyway, thanks to ISPaD to invite me and to give the opportunity to come time to time. And today I can say about the Christmas, of course, from the boyhood and the younghood, I have been enjoying this celebration around my friends. And I remember that whenever Christmas comes, as a few speakers already told, and that is the day of the celebration, just they are lighting their houses with stars and other trees. And I enjoy because a village town where I used to rage, that is after 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, everybody goes to sleep and nobody come out. And even walking on the street after 8 is really a little scary. But when the Christmas comes, the popular, even they are not Christian, they already celebrate on the street, there will be lights and the houses outside the lighting. And people feel free to walk on the street. So I always remember that. People invites me on the younghood. I always remember about the Santa Claus. I think he told about. Yes, I used to dream that Santa Claus would come and bring me some good thing. I always expected because I was so young and I used to believe it. And once I remember, with the hay, I made some statue and I hang it on my next window so that Santa might come to me. So especially, anyway, I believe it, and I somehow that, and it helps me, because whenever I have some beliefness, and it helps a lot. Giving you an example, once I was in a village place, there was a priest was explaining that this root of the something, if you hang it on your hand and every day if you put in the water and drink, it will help you. So what helps that? I was hearing all the advertisement. He's telling that if you go to read, you might be sleeping. So it will go, and I am the one, I am the passion of that. When I go for sleep, read, and I feel sleepy. So when I bought that small device, so they told me that this is very precious thing, it came from some far away. So I used to get all the time. So my parents used to send me shopping, and I saved some little coins. And what I would do, these coins, and I go to all these, I don't know, priests, and they used to sell, and I used to get it and hang it in the neck or put it in the hand and put in the water and drink, something like that. So I had lots of these things, okay?
In your body.
In my body. one day my mother actually came, and he somehow I was sleeping and told me that, oh, this guy has no clothes, and see, and he found all of a sudden all the madhulis in my neck and hands and things, and she cut it off, you know,
Oh my God.
and all them she cut off, and in next minute I realized, I didn't realize even, to tell you the truth. And one day in the evening, I feel sleepy and things, and thinking, okay, I need that madhuli to drink water, and I don't find it, you know. So I was feeling so bad. But that I'm giving example because the belief people has so things, and it happened to me many times. So I moved to Malta, actually. I don't know if you know or not. Before we come to America, we have been living 15 years in Malta, and Malta is one of the Catholic country. And I think Rome and Vatican is the Catholic country, Rome though it is a Catholic, but Malta is really pure Catholic country, and they have, even administration always goes after the bishop. If bishop says anything, they cannot dishonor them. And by the 15 years, I used to enjoy so much, especially the Christmas time, whole month, and the summertime, the festa related to this festival, because they have lots of every week, every village in every week. I mean, this village they will celebrate this week, and next week in the other village, because the Saint Paul actually once he passing the emergency and hit the island, and I think his boat wrecked, and he was treated badly in the beginning, but he was surviving on that island, and the people somehow with the miracle things, and then realized that he was sent by God, and from that day all Maltese actually became Christian. So that is how there's lots of story remain in Malta, and whenever December come, every year I go there, and this time a little different. I went, but I came back before Christmas celebration. But in December, I still today, even though I moved in America, every year I go in Christmas time, and I had to give some present to my friends, and I am still maintaining that. And I came 3 days ago from Malta. So anyway, thank you. Actually, I'm happy, and I wish the same to you all. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
By the way, Piotr is an engineer, software IT technician, and he is a property owner in Malta. He lived there for some time. So after that, so I'm going to ask Trip, right?
Yes.
Junior Tom, to say something.
Oh,
And
boy.
also, before, as he says, I'm going to, as Caroline mentioned, we circulate a hat. So if you want to donate something, please do so. We don't have it. I didn't get a hat. Just pass it back. And then, okay, Trip.
Well, my name is Trip. This is my first time here. It's an honor to celebrate Christmas in India, standing in the most diverse place in the world. Proud of my father. Okay.
Pass it on. Brigadier Verma. Brigadier General Suresh Verma.
First of all, Merry Christmas to each one of you. I've been very fortunate that I've served in the area which you mentioned, from Assam to Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, and Mizoram. And so I had very sort of close association how the Christmas used to be celebrated in each and every village. And Indian Army, I must tell you that we have a tradition in the same premises as we were mentioning in a temple. There's a temple, there's a gurdwara, there's a mosque, there's a church. In the same premises which is there, that the thing is, the secular thing that we celebrate. Now, today is a very auspicious day, and you would have known that Mother Teresa, she had been restored with the sainthood.
Yes.
And it's a very proud moment for India, for Kolkata, and of course for the Christianity as such. And of course, that you may all remember, this is the period when, in 1971, the Bangladesh was born. Kind courtesy, of course, the Indian Army, and I was fortunate to sort of take part in that operation also. Wish you all the very best. I mean, it's always a great pleasure coming down here. I am also one of those who was born in Pakistan, but came much earlier. My parents came much earlier, before the partition. But we had a lot of people staying with us when the partition took place in our hometown, in our house. There were 40 to 50 families who were uprooted from there. They came and stayed with us. And this is a organization which they're doing a very good job. They're sort of celebrating all the occasions, whether Diwali, Dussehra, or Christmas. Wish you all the best and very happy New Year to each one of you.
Thank you. Jim,
Yeah.
would you like to say something?
You can just introduce yourself.
Should I just say my name?
Yeah.
My name is Jay Maheshwari.
Jay Maheshwari.
I live in Bayside.
Okay.
With my mom and dad and brother.
Okay. And he has has volunteered with us many times. So we will come again. Any of you want to volunteer? We do need volunteers. It has grown more than we can. We're happy it has grown. So people are getting hungry. Now I cannot end it without asking, of course, Shefali.
Otherwise, you will not get sleep.
Thank you all for coming, and it's a very special event as we celebrate, every month. And it reminds me, Steve was asking whether we know those things. I went to a missionary school in back home from pre-kindergarten till I graduated at 12th grade. And he mentioned our similarity with Krishna and Christ. We used to sing a song, it says, Krishtonam, Krishtonam, Krishtonam Gauhe. In Bengali, that means please sing about Jesus Christ. And we were bad or good, we don't know. We used to say Krishnanam, Krishnanam, Krishnanam Gauhe. So we used to convert Christ to Krishna. So that was our early childhood missionary school playing. But we used to have first period was our Bible class. So reading from Bible, song and all these things. So we had a very good background. But here we celebrate, and as everybody said, it's not necessarily Christians celebrate. It's a very common public event and very joyous event. With that, I say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. And now I must mention about the cook, because that's what I coordinate. Veena Devi, as usual, prepares a dessert, no matter whether she is here or not. She will send it through through her husband. And this Veena, she is very good cook. She takes full responsibility without telling me. But now she started working. Still, she said, "Yeah, I will do something." And Shumedha, she cooked something, and Shushila also, and then myself a little bit. So with that, I end and thank all the volunteers.
Thank you. Please take these journals as many, and if you like, please do take some, these newsletters, and if you do, please take some journal and these dusters. So let me end with a few personal notes. This is not a personal thing. Having said that, I'm very, very pleased. These two books have come very close to you. As you can see, it's a very humongous book. It's available in every Amazon. It says, Mukti, Free to be Born Again. Partitions of Indian subcontinent, Islamism, Hinduism, Leftism, and Liberation of the Faithful. So take a look. I mean, I'm passing it on. Just browse through. This was, I would say, 15 to 18 years in the making, not knowing that it will come now. And now I'm also very... This one, paperback, I think 29, hardback 35, and e-book, I think $3 or something. But I'm very, very pleased, or that all of a sudden I see there is a torrent of email and interest in this. Because people from India, from UK to Bangladesh to United States have put them in their blogs, in their circle, because supposedly that's just something that has been covered, censored in India for last 60 plus years. And this book, also very similar, called Memoirs of Him Homeland, Refugees of 1917 Refugees of 1947 Bengal Partition in India by Shefali and me. This project, not knowing, we just taped about 100 people here in New York who fled from Bangladesh to India, and then there were some Muslims who fled from India to Bangladesh. So there were 100 of those, and 22 of their stories are here, because my publishers, last time when I went, they said, "Sir, if you don't do it, it may be, nobody will know." So this is published in India. Shefali is going, Sumedha is going to India, so they're going to bring some books. If you have interest, we'll be doing a book reading. Actually, Khurshedul Islam, he's supposed to come. He wants to suggested a book reading. So maybe in February and March we'll do that. And lastly, there is a candle and there is a cake for a reason. So I just happened to get this cake in honor of this event. But more importantly, this one says, Happy 40th anniversary, Shefali and Sachi. I'll have the honor of Shefali to cutting this cake. So we just had our 40th anniversary, and we thought this would be a good time to have a cake. So with that,
Not fruit cake though.
So,
it reminds me very first time when we went after I got married. His aunt came running. Hey, he used to call him Tom. Hey Tom, I brought some fruit cake, and that was the Christmas time.
sorry. So you heard Tom. I forgot that my aunt used to call me Tom. I don't know why they used to call me Tom. That's what I'm going to call you. You know, there's a story. Story is in India. Her husband's name was Sachin, Sachin, not Sachi. So everybody.